right? Well, that's important, but it's a cloak screen because that does not solve the red dot problem. It helps you analyze it better, but all the weight in the world is on President Trump's shoulder, right? There's a freight train coming at us with a virus in it. There's a freight train coming at us with the economic damage. Both are bad. And the mainstream press is trying to obfuscate and avoid that very horrific set of choices that the president has to make. They're making it simple, like it's just the virus.
But you know, this is uncommon for us in the United States. But these kind of issues are not uncommon where they have bad systems. And I want to talk a little about the history of China. You go back, China from 1945 under Mao until really Deng Xiaoping was a disaster area. Famines, pestilence, crazy bad stuff under a horrible system.
I thought that was the great leap forward.
Yeah, a great leap forward, right, into the abyss, the great leap forward.
Right.
And Deng Xiaoping, he comes in and he says, we're going to have reform and opening. We're going to have a market economy. He called it socialism with Chinese characteristics. But he also said, hide your capacities and bide your time. And what he was signaling there is we're going to pretend like we're an open society. We're going to pretend like we're pro-West and all of that. And they did that for a period up until really 1999. So under Deng Xiaoping until 1999, and that's when they published the book Unrestricted Warfare, where they were quietly laying the battle plan to take down America. And we talk about it all the time in the economic war room, but what we're dealing with in this pandemic looks like the unrestricted warfare playbook exclusively. And then, more recently, Xi Jinping comes into power about 2013, and they put out the book, The China Dream, which says essentially, we're going to have everything made in China by 2025, and our goal is to dominate the world by 2045. That's their 100-year marathon, 100 years after the Communist Party came to power. So tell me, have you read that book, The China Dream?
Yeah, and I've followed your work on all that, and it's interesting that even the Wall Street Journal today, this is how far we've come, right? The Republican Rich Lowry wrote a piece, we're all restrictionists now. A couple weeks ago, I about fell out of my chair. And today, the Wall Street Journal, who's been slow to the dance, Holman Jenkins wrote a piece today affirming what you said, and even pushed it to the limit and said, in the history of nations over the centuries, right? We've been spoiled beyond comprehension because of our founders so great. But he said it is not beyond comprehension that Xi Jinping saw that the damage was coming to him and wanted to level the playing field and therefore unleashed or allowed the pandemic to spread without giving us the right to come in and inspect and learn. And that's all documented. And so everything you've laid out there, it's on steroids right now today for everyone to see. And the evidence is in from the WHO to the hiding the secrets to the Batwoman. It's all going to come out soon.
Well, and I call this the Chinese Communist curse. And again, the Chinese people are great people, but the communist system is that bad, and it's spreading a curse throughout the world. The pandemic and the way they responded to it, the way they're attempting to use it to take down global economies so that they can increase their position, it's a curse on the Chinese people. It's a curse on the rest of the world, and unfortunately, it's a curse on America as well. And that's because we've let this infiltration come in. We've allowed it into our Congress, our think tanks, our universities, our entertainment.